Jason's barn, for the most part, is large right now, bordering on 50 horses. It fluctuates a bit. We had Won My Heart Hanover here. We have Glare AM. Now, I forgot to mention War We Welcome in Tim's video. She is at Tim's barn right now. She was set to come back to Ohio, but when I took these other two fillies back, the blood work didn't really come back that suspicious with War We Welcome, so it's a matter of treat her up, the tiny issues you know she has, work on them furiously, and then we'll race her again next week. I'll go there to drive War We Welcome. So, where are we at right now? So a couple of horses on both sides of the border. Adrenaline Rush is trained in 56. He'll qualify this week at Mohawk. Better's Hope trained in 59. Might go back for another training trip with him first, and then we'll see how he goes. Confederate Cruiser trained great this week. He's been in 2-6. Very happy with this colt. Duke Dio is on his way here. He's not technically, well, he's in Jason's barn in Canada, heading to Jason's barn in the States. So Duke Dio will be here under Jason's American banner on Tuesday, I believe. Eyes a 10 trained great this week. A few little changes continue to make on her, but she looks really, really strong. Fox Valley Britska made a break off the gate. He is up for sale, as is Italian Grit and a number of other horses, just because, you know, they're in Indiana breds that aren't good enough to race in the Indiana State races. There's races for them there, but I'm not going to send him down there to pay somebody to race him in a condition claimer. We'll figure it out with Fox Valley Britska moving forward. Frilly Fringes is in to go Tuesday. We'll race her once more and then continue to... This is a fluid situation with this filly also. We'll see which way we go with her. Grace has been training great in Ontario. I didn't know that... I thought this filly was in the top barn, but I guess she's in Cindy's care in Ontario. Jimmy keeps telling me how good this filly looks. Granite Hill, I'm running out of time to get there by June 1st. But I didn't really say June 1st, I said June. Granite Hill's been in 210. He's getting there, little by little. He's getting closer. What else do we got here? Globetrotting. 2 minutes. Last half, 57 last quarter, and 28 and 4, 29 the other day. You know who she just picked off? Jazzy Judy. Get to her in a minute. Globetrotting was very good training the other day. Want to put another 4, maybe 5 very fast miles into her. It looks like she's not going to wear the trotting hobbles. Impressive. So excited for this summer with her. I'm not rushing, so there's no point in sending me a message saying when will she be ready. She'll be ready when I can train her in 55 off the gate at Northfield Park with no hobbles on. That's when we'll qualify Globetrotting. Gray is the New Red. I've been down on Gray is the New Red, but hey, the other week we had a bad week, and she was definitely in the top 3, 4, or 5 of the horses that raced this week. Big kick on the end of it. Raced well. Now, yes, it was a maiden condition claimer, but she raced well. No complaining. You know, give credit where credit is due. I thought she raced well from off the pace for Luke Ebersol. GW Chrome back in the condition claimer. He's probably going to go up for sale this week. Nice colt. I like GW Chrome. You guys have heard me drone on about GW Chrome and how much I love him and love his attitude. He just hasn't done enough, and that's the reality. Hill of Magic is certainly doing enough right now. She looks good. Really, really happy with Hill of Magic. Holy chick, I galloped her the other day. She felt strong. Felt strong. That cut she had in her hock, that explosion she had in her hock, is coming along nicely. I think a couple more gallop. The reason I picked galloping was the horses don't interfere when they're galloping, right? You ever seen a horse hit themselves going across the field? When you gallop her, you can put that strong workout into her without having her hit that jack. So we're going to continue to gallop her all summer. She'll only hit the trot when we need her to hit the trot, which will be going behind the gate. I'm a Lovely Lady was nothing short of fantastic the other day. Probably one of the best miles I've seen from her for her entire life. It wasn't the fastest mile, but the most impressive. She blew by him in the passing. At no point was there even an iota of hesitation. As soon as I got her to the passing lane, she was gone. Didn't have to pull the earplugs. Didn't have to ask her. She just exploded forward. Super impressed with I'm a Lovely Lady. Italian Grit did what he could the other day. Travis was 10th at the 3/4, ended up 7th, 8th, 58, last quarter 28. Just what he is. That's what he is. You'll probably see this colt go back to Ontario, to be honest. I know Travis likes him, and I've been trying to talk him into buying him. Could probably work out an agreement where the stable keeps a portion of Italian Grit, and Travis takes him home and owns a bigger portion, him and his wife, and races him at Grand River and Georgian. Starts to be a useful horse in Ontario, just not quite as useful here in the U.S. Now we're to Jazzy Judy. 2 minutes, 3/5 off half, and 103. Yeah, she's getting close. I was actually going to go in 2-3. She was just a little aggressive. I hadn't seen her like that before. Real hot. Got her over the half in 3 or 4. Let her trot down the backstretch around the turn. Globetrotting. Just got up to pick me off. Big mile from Jazzy Judy. She's there now. We'll probably qualify her Thursday if her blood work comes back like she wasn't stressed out. We may actually qualify her in 2-2. Like to back her up and go a mile in 2-2 on Thursday. Come back with a mile in maybe 58 the following Thursday. June 16th. That's Jazzy Judy's first start, June 16th. Luck of the Dragon. I didn't love the way he trained yesterday. He had a little bit of an off day, but he had rubbed and had an infection and a rash on his chest and his armpits. Not really a big deal, but he did train okay. I just would like to see him train a little bit better over the next month. Massive Profit could not have trained better than he trained Wednesday, back Saturday. Super impressed with Massive Profit. Matt's MVP was better. Liver count was up. We found another trigger with this guy. His front feet are rather hot. His coffin joints are bothering him. We're going to put a set of razor pads on him Tuesday and then come back this week. Come back this week with him again on Wednesday. Miss Meringue, got the final round of vet work done on her. She's got a couple more days of jogging and then starts back training. I know a couple of people are asking me what's up with her. We just had to address some issues with her and Rose Run Why Not. Yes, it's cost them some time, but we're going to get them there, don't worry. Miss Bampton Beast will qualify this week. She trained in 56 this week. She'll be going out. For those of you that stayed involved with Pam on this filly, this mare now, she'll be out this week at Mohawk to qualify. My Jazz, I don't know if she's going to qualify this week. I'm not going to qualify her unless she's 100%. I did not see her 100% on Saturday. She'll get there. The stuff that's, it's pesky. I'm not going to lie to you, it's pesky. But she'll get to 100%, don't worry. Of Tom trained fantastic this week. A little harder on her on Saturday than I'd like. She went a mile in 15. I really wanted to go in 25. Just a couple of horses ended up hot. And she, the work doesn't bother her at all. So I'm glad she got a good workout in anyway. Oso Pine races tonight at Northfield Park. Been off 2 weeks, 7-hole. Probably going to be a little conservative with him. 1-2 skip a few has been great. She just jumped over Shadow the other day. If you guys go back and look at the video, you can see what I'm talking about. It's plain as day. She just skipped over the Shadow. Next time around, it didn't bother her as much. But it's important that she got that out of her system now. Path of Totality is in to go at the Meadows. Qualified in 57. Went to schooler with no hobbles on. She made a break on me in the exact same spot. Now, would she make one on a 5/8? I don't know, but I think we're probably going to race her with the hobbles on. What else do we got here? Prairie Fire has been training great. He was the horse that made the break coming out of the gate the other day, not LSL. So I think you're going to see Prairie Fire. Little set of earplugs on this week, but he was really, really strong. Purple Aura trained great again last Wednesday and back again Saturday. Really happy with Purple Aura. Rose above it. Few look as good as him right now. Really impressed with this horse and really happy with what he's been doing the last little while. 2-4 last half, 58 first over the other day. Can't ask for much more than that. Rose Run Why Not will begin training in about a week. Very happy. I'm not very happy with the way 2021 has gone for her, but hopefully we're in a position where we can come forward with her. Spend that money. They said she was a little rickety the other day. That's how she is. She needs her hobbles a little tighter than they're used to putting them on. I think over the next week, at some point, I can skip back to Ontario and see if we can get the stragglers saddled up properly so we can race them. I might go back on Doyle's truck. Go back on Doyle's truck next week just to make sure everything is proper, set proper, and then we'll go from there. Where are we at here? Spend that money. Stonebridge Simba, I trained him the other day, a mile and a half. Very strong. 2:12 last mile, last half, and 1:1 in the jog cart. Getting stronger, but still a little goofy sometimes. We're going to put the snake cord back on him this week. He'd shut his air off at some point in the last 3 weeks. There was some bruising on his palate, so we're trying to address that at the same time, get him trained down. If we have to watch him, we will, but we'll see. Sweet on Pete's training good, very happy with her. Tanzanite Tricks went a mile and 2:4 the other day, should come back in 59. They can qualify her twice. She can go back a mile and 2:1 at her qualifier this week. That's My Girl will qualify Thursday at Northfield Park. We'll race her in the maiden after that. Twin Bee Habanero is training down well. He's been in 15. That's lots for him for the amount of time he missed. That's plenty. So we'll look for a mile, maybe 2:10 at Mohawk this week. You Gotta Believe has been training down very, very good and continues to look good. Probably one of the most quietly surprising horses we've had so far, is You Gotta Believe. Horse that's not quietly surprising at all is Voyage of Ice and Fire. Horse has been fantastic. Wire to wire the other day and looked very good doing it for Chris Lems. 2-4 last half, 58 last quarter, 29. Very impressed with him. Well and down. You know what? I drove her too hard last night, but I drove her in a manner she should have been driven. If she was 4-1, that's how you should have driven her. She was 15-1. I drove her a little too hard. And I keep talking to people about, this is what happens when you go on the track and you're 15-1. You're up against it, right? If she's in the proper class where she's 4-1, she wins last night in 55. She paced faster than the class she's going to be in next week. Maybe even a week after. Maybe even give this filly a week off. That might be an option also. So we'll see how it is. But ultimately, looking back on my drive last night, I was too liberal with her. I drove her in a much more aggressive fashion than she was ready to go, and that's my fault. So my apologies to my partners on Well and Down. She'll be back maybe next week or the week after, and I'll drive her appropriately. Now she will be in a much easier group, so we'll see. She doesn't like to remove to the front and then try and fend off some adversity. Just use her in a more stalking manner, and I think that's what we'll do moving forward. So that is Jason's barn. I'll be back in a minute. As I didn't talk about where we welcome in Tim's barn, so I guess it's fair we talk about her in Jason's barn. The break the other day was obviously unfortunate and frustrating. It's a filly that rarely makes breaks. Hunter Myers had said maybe try a martingale on her and see how she is. I think we can add that, no problem, but I will go there and drive her next week. She raced fantastic the 2 weeks before. The win in 56 was impressive at the Meadows. We'll see how she races next week. Not the week coming, the week after at the Meadows, and then we'll be shipping her home for Ontario. So take care. We'll talk to you guys soon. Still got Mario's barn. We'll be back in just a second.